Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the LA Aftershocks and the Oklahoma City Bisons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Oklahoma City Bison. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Oklahoma City team as they enter play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really...
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
I love his mobility, and I think he continues to get better and better as a pocket passer. But how about just his plain intangibles that he brings to the position? Mental toughness, as well as a physical presence that helps power any offense.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. A look now at our starting defense. They enter this one number 13, Charles, in the NFL in stopping the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix with a pick. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
And a solid run down inside the 30. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 15 carries, 55 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and the coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Here's Gurley. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half in some of these shorter gains.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Avery Williamson not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? It was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Third and long, it's Darnold. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
It's complete to Jerron Brown. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. A first carry now for Kenneth Dixon. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
The open man is Smith. A big 30-yard play on third. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and our drive continues here to start quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. This offense on third down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Set, 3-19.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. He's going to let this one go deep. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Off the play fake, Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now let's go.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Set. 3-19.
On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They were forced to punt last time. Now I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Prescott. Sets up the screen to Gordon. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They'll throw again. Prescott going underneath for Gordon. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Here we go.
To the air again, Prescott. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Prescott urging his guys to go quickly. They need to get up and set. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. So they boot it through, and now we're all square after 2 quarters of play.
And what's that great term you taught me? They're level, right? They got back to level. Now they get to go back in the locker room, regroup, and start over in the second half.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So we've reached halftime at a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin with a good one in the NFC South. Carolina paying a visit to New Orleans. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. Derrick Henry, a touchdown run in that first half. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The third quarter starts with a run by Gurley. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Open man is Allison, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19.
On the handoff, it's Gurley. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Gurley again here on 1st down. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a handoff for Gurley.
3-19.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal.
Now let's go. Blue.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Set. Green 39.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Here's another 2nd and goal, this time from half the distance closer. They come up in an offset eye. Now Darnold, and it's caught. Touchdown. Torrey Smith, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the lead is now 10-3. That time a 9-play drive. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back, everybody, to Oklahoma City, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Prescott now on 2nd down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Prescott looks to throw on first. Keeps himself upright. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year, and it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Bill O'Brien, an offensive mind, and he's going to trust his offense here. They're going for it on 4th. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a first down. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. And it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out.
False start.
And a 5-yard penalty. Well, it's a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And again, it's Prescott. And he will score. It's a touchdown. Dak Prescott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. On the return is Henderson. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Hey, I agree with you totally, and his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax, you don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
Second down, Darnold. He's going to air one out. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at about the 14. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Here we go. 480. 26.
Prescott. Caught right side, Jerron Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
26.
Prescott to throw. Dancing to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
Here we go. 480. 26.
Here's Prescott. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
Here we go. 480. 26.
Now Prescott on fourth down. And that is incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And as a result, possession switches hands. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game fourth quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. To throw is Darnold. And to the tight end Olsen, right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Darnold now. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Greg Olsen was the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up defensively. You pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field. Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
This is Morris. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
On second down, it's Dixon. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down. That's Morris. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And that changes everything here in OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. That one goes for 24 yards. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hook up right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Gordon on first down. And he stopped immediately there. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fielded at about the 28.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that one will be accepted.
Let's go! Green, 39! Green!
Now a handoff for Dixon. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Set. 3-19.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now it's Morris. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90.
On third down, that's Morris. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. I know they may want to go for this, but the smart play probably to punt it, even given the field position, right?
In a sense, you honor what they've done all game. And this is a defense that's held the score down, kept it tight, kept you right in it, and they're really jonesing for one more shot. Give it to them. Let them play defense for you and give you a better chance to win the game.
Here's Matt Bosher now. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And now back out comes the offense. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickel and dime down the field.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon brings it just past the 15, able to avoid the initial contact, but not much more there on the play. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. On third down, it's Prescott. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.